comparing sets of data. We're going to look at back-to-back stem and leaf plots, parallel box plots, and writing comparisons between two sets of data. So for example, here I've got two sets of male life expectancy from various countries, measured in 1970 and then again in 2010. And you can see that we'd want to be able to compare these. One way is by doing a stem and leaf plot with one set of data on one side and the other set of data on the other side. So here we have our lowest is 38, so when I do my stem I'm going to start with a 3 and I have to get up to 8. You put a line on both sides. You would give this a title, male life expectancy. I should have left more space. And on this side we'll put 1970 and on this side we'll put 2010. So the earlier one on the left usually, I've got 38. Now this is in order. Remember, you want your data in order in these leaves. So here in the 50s I'll want 2, 4, 9. So we count out from the center. So on this side in 2010 I'd go, 80, 80, 84, but this side we count outwards that way. So I'm dealing with 1970, I've got the 50s, the 60s, 60, oh sorry, we don't put commas, 61, 67, 68, 69, 9, 9, 9. Yes, there's the 60s, 74 and 83. So you've got to remember that we were reading tens and then units, which can be a little bit weird. On the 2010 side, 58, 69, now 70s I've got 71, 72, 74, 74, quite a lot in the 70s, 80, 80 and 84. You'd do your key and it has to be two different numbers, so that would be 81, and it's not a bad idea to pop a key over here as well. It's a little bit hard to read back-to-back stem and leaf plots at times. So that's a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. Make sure you have the titles of both sides, and you can see very clearly from this that life expectancy overall has risen a lot in 2010 compared to 1970. You can also do a parallel set of box plots, when of course you would need a ruler, and I didn't bring one. It's embarrassing. So you put two box plots on one number line, one above the other. So I'll have to go from, now this one's ending up as a grouped box plot in the 30s, 40s, 50s, etc. No, it's not. Box plot, number line. Sorry. Set up your number line. I've got to go from the 30s up to the 80s, and you could possibly go one down. 20, 40, 50, so we've got a number line, and I just go one more further out. This is life expectancy in years, male life expectancy. And obviously for the box plots we will need the 5-figure summary. So we get that. Remember, you can get this and the mean by putting your data into your graphics calculator and doing stat edit. Now I've put the data in already, and I've just actually put it in L1 and L3 so that I'm not getting mixed up with having a frequency column. But you could always put it in L1, get your answers, and then delete it. So list 1, you can see, is my 1970s. If you go stat, calc, one variable stats, and depending on your calculator, you might have to say L1 here, or it might ask you to put L1 in and then calculate. So L1 is down here above the 1. So for 1970, my 5-figure summary is given by my graphics calculator. I've got my minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum. Remember, if you're doing a box plot, you would check for outliers. So my interquartile range is 69 minus 56.5. So I've got an interquartile range of 12.5. For lower outliers, that would be Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. 56.5 minus 1.5 times 12.5. $37.75, and my minimum is 38, so actually not an outlier. So you remember to check for your outliers. I'm not going to do the rest of the check, this is just a reminder for you. Then 2010, I've left that, still one variable stats, I left it in L3. So I choose L3, get my 5-figure summary, so now that we have both our 5-figure summaries, one on top of the other, you make 2 box plots, ideally with a ruler. My minimum of 38, Q1, 56.5. Now you'll see we have to be a little bit approximate about where we are. Please use a ruler when you do this, I just didn't bring one. Maximum here at 83. And a ruler line from there. So this is 1970, you have to label which is which. And 2010, minimum here at 58, leave a space between them. 71.5, 76, 79.5 and 84. This is 2010, and that is a pair of box plots, and again we can clearly see that the range in life expectancy has decreased from 1970 to 2010. The mean life expectancy, or the median life expectancy, sorry, has increased. And when we come to compare this, if you're asked to write a comparison for 2 sets of data, then you refer to as many of these things as you can. The median, mean, and range. So, between 1970 and 2010, and you're really explicit. Male life expectancy, now I said various countries, So we say that rose from a median of 67 and a mean, go back, get your mean, stat calc, one variable stats, I want L1. My mean was 63 to a median of 58, whoops, not 58, 76, and a mean of, and we get the mean again from our 2010 data. One variable stats, that's in L3, and a mean of 74.9 years, because we're looking at life expectancy. So see, I'm really clear. It rose from this in 1970 to this. I'm saying the difference in the mean and the median. And since I also noticed that the range reduced, I say that. The range dropped from, oh, and I haven't actually calculated the range. So 1970, I've got 83 minus 38, so it's a range of 45 years in 1970 to, then I've got 85 minus 58, 27 years in 2010. So based on that, you could say very clearly that there's less variation now in life expectancies between the different countries, and life expectancy has risen by, you know, maybe 9 years, maybe 8 years, by around 8 to 9 years on average. So stating the overall picture is also a really good idea, but my video is getting really long, so we'll leave that there.